Now it's time, of course, to jive with a Jet. And this guy is someone I've been looking forward to speaking to all season. So it's only right that we bring him up last, or one of the last guests that we have, because honestly, the season he's had has been incredible. Please welcome to the show, Sauce Gardner. Sir, thank you so much for coming on to the show. You've had an incredible first season with the Jets. So with that in mind, I have to leave with this question. Where does the name Sauce come from?
And it was just a little league name that was given to me by one of my little league coaches when I used to play football. Growing up, it just symbolizes the swagger that I had and the love for sauce that I had.
How does it feel now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
How does it feel that, normally if you were still playing college ball, your season would probably be over a few weeks ago. You don't play as many games in college. Now that you've had this little bit longer of a grind, how have you been able to process the whole thing?
Man, it feels great, man. I honor the game so much. I cherish every moment that I get to play football. So, me just being able to, play it a little bit longer, in a year, it's just a blessing,
You're one of 4 Jets who made Pro Bowl and one of 2 rookies throughout the whole of the NFL that also made Pro Bowl. If you could have said this to yourself 365 days ago, what do you think you would have thought? You've had a big year, a really big year.
Man, I'd be lying if I said I didn't see this coming. Man, I've been putting so much work in since day one, man. So I'm not surprised. My coaches aren't surprised. My family and my support system aren't surprised. So, man, it's just a blessing, and I'm gonna just keep working.
See, the fans only see the games on Sundays, right, what you do out there on the field. But you just said you put in all the work. I mean, where did you get that work ethic installed into you to become this great player that you are now in the NFL?
Man, I would probably say how I came up. Growing up in Detroit, Michigan, on the east side, it wasn't hard, so nothing was given to me. I had to earn everything, I had to work for everything. So that's still how I am now, I'm not one of them people that love getting handouts. I'd rather work to get everything.
Love to hear that. What moment did you think to yourself, right, this is it. This is what I am going to do when I grow up? Was there a specific moment when you were playing in college level or school level that you can think of?
Man, I knew this in Little League. I remember growing up, like when I got the nickname Sauce, I was 6 years old, and I really wasn't supposed to be playing until I was 7, because we had something called the D team, and the youngest age group was 7 to 8. But they were able to pull some strings because I was so good. So, that's when I said, that's what I want to do in my life. I want to be a football player.
And you end up at Cincinnati. You have a great career there. You helped the Cincinnati Bearcats last year go to the college football playoff, which had never been done for one of those group of 5 teams in college football since the playoff was first put into place here. And then on Sunday in Seattle, you're on the same field as your old college teammate, Kobe Bryant. You guys were the corners on the Bearcats. Now you're playing against each other first season in the NFL. What kind of moment was that when the two of you got together and said, boy, do you believe here we are 1 year later?
Oh, man. Man, that was a great time, man. I can't lie. From the moment when we first started warming up, we just kept looking at each other and we was just laughing because we was getting caught in this moment. Man, we really going against each other now. And we always just played. We played on each other's team, and, he was a guy that I looked up to because when I came in, he was already like a junior. You know what I mean? So he took me under his wing. And then every time I would line up on their sideline, you got him standing up. He talking like, yeah. He talking this smack and stuff like that. So man, it was a great moment, man. I'm extremely proud of him, man, and I know he feels the same way about me as well.
Given what you said about not wanting handouts and doing everything yourself, clearly you're quite a motivational speaker, and it's not the first time I've said that on this podcast, but what would you say to someone who's listening that wants to be the next Sauce Gardner in 10 years' time or whatever?
And I would say just keep working. I always been counted out, so just always have faith. Always have faith in yourself that you can, get things done. Never give up. The sky's the limit, man. Man, I can't even explain it, man. I went to school. I went to Cincinnati. I didn't go to the biggest school, and here I am now. So don't get too caught up in the high school offers you get. the recruiting, just go out there on that field and give it your all, and you're gonna get where you want to. You're gonna get where you want to be.
No doubt about it. And, you've had a great rookie season. You're right there in the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year. You made the Pro Bowl already. I mean, all pros probably going to be in your future this season as well. Have there been a couple of guys this year that when you've lined up and tried to shut them down on a Sunday, some of these wide receivers, guys you grew up watching potentially, which are the matchups that you cherish the most and you've really looked forward to getting after it?
Man, I look forward to all my matchups, pretty much all of them. I went against pretty much all of the elite receivers in the league. Some of the guys, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams. It's a lot of guys quite a few guys who I haven't won against. But, if you look at the schedule, man, I done went against the best. Amari Cooper, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. The list goes on. So, man, I cherish every matchup I have, because I'm going against the best.
No doubt.
And when you go up against the best, what's your mindset just before you step onto that pitch, onto that field? Is it a case of keeping yourself cool and calm and even, or do you put on your headphones, turn music up really, really, really loud and get into the zone?
Man, it'd be a little bit of both, man. Depends on my mood. At the end of the day, football is football. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't. But I would say I'm more on the cool side, keeping myself level-headed and just being able to lock in so that way I can go on that field and dominate.
How about Sauce off the field? Some of the things you like to do away from football, and I know that Richie is going to be a big fan because I know you're a big video game guy. I know you got the Twitch following, Call of Duty. I'll just turn it over to you and Richie, and you guys can handle it from here because that's your area, Rich. That's your thing.
Yes, let's talk. How are you getting on with the new Call of Duty, and when are we going one-on-one?
Man, I mean, we could go one-on-one whenever. I can always make time for you, man. I'm actually liking it. I've been seeing a lot of the pro gamers who I play with, they be having a few complaints with it because it is different than the previous Call of Duties, the previous war zones, because that's really all I play. But I actually like it. When you can get on there and get some wins, get a lot of wins, drop a lot of kills on there, then there's no way that you don't like it.
So I've got about 10, 12, 13, 14 years on you, and I've been gaming since I can walk. So I like to think I've got it in the locker and I'll be able to take you out. That's for sure. I would say let's put a little bet on it, but you're a professional athlete. I am not. So I haven't really got much that you would want. That's for sure.
Hey, man, it's all good. But, man, I done been in the same lobby as a lot of the pro streamers, pro content creators, and, I done did them bad, man. So, so I'm not just a bad player. I'm extremely good.
So he's confident in football. He's confident when it comes to the gaming. Like, there's really nothing you can get past him. It's as simple as that, right? I mean, you got the confidence that everything else takes care of itself.
Nah, exactly. I agree, man. I extremely agree.
Got to bring the swagger, Richie. Do you have gaming swagger?
No. I just swear and shout at my TV. That's about it. That's all I've got.
Now, you were at the Brooklyn Nets game the other night, right?
Oh, yeah.
You met KD, and you also met Mbappe, Kylian Mbappe.
Exactly.
What was that experience like, and how big of a soccer fan are you?
Man, I actually became a huge soccer fan this year because I didn't know how big it was to the World Cup and all that. Like, this is my first time being able to, watch it and experience it, because they had it on all around the building.
Sure.
And I was able to see him. I was able to see the World Cup, so I was familiar with who he was. I just didn't know he was going to be at the game. So when I seen he was at the game, that was cool for me to be able to meet him for sure and take some pictures. KD, man, I grew up watching KD, man. That's my favorite player in the league.
Really? Was that the first time you met him?
Nah, yeah, it definitely was.
Wow.
Definitely was, man. He always been my favorite player. I remember growing up always having the debates about who's better, KD or LeBron. Don't get me wrong, LeBron, he a great player for sure too. But I just I like KD for sure.
So I know I'm going to have to bring it back. I'm going to have to bring it back to talk about a little bit about football. It sounds like, as you said, you're just getting into the sport. Does that mean you've got yourself a football or a soccer team yet?
Man, I don't know. I don't think I have one yet.
He'll
yet.
he'll get there.
You know what that means.
Not yet.
You know what that means. He's not going to get there. He's gotten there already. You are now a Man United fan. You're now a Manchester United fan.
I knew he was going to try to recruit you. That's what he was doing. That's what he does to all every guy that we've had on the, and you like you said, there's a lot of guys in your locker room. They're huge soccer fans, and then they're just getting into it. Some of them have been fans, but every guy that we have up here, he tries to get them on the Man U side. Every single one.
Hey man, I don't blame
Just
him.
don't listen to CJ Uzoma. He's a Chelsea fan, so don't be taking any of his advice on board at all.
Yeah, Uzama's a Chelsea guy, so that could be a clash there. But no, as long as you come on this show, he's going to make you a Man U guy.
Now, seeing as the season is drawn to an end, how are you going to spend the next few months, Sauce?
Man, training, just being able to work on, getting better, watching tape, seeing what all my flaws are, just being able to attack them and make them my strengths. A lot of people, they just see me doing good, so they don't know, like, what my flaws are, but I'm always working to get better, working to perfect my craft. I'm looking forward to just being able to go back to Detroit, give back to the youth. I know they look up to me, especially people that's on the east side of Detroit. Thinking about doing a football camp, having a football camp in Detroit. Having some of my teammates come and, help me do that. Yeah.
You said just getting better. And, you have coaches for that, and they're there to, work with you guys day in and day out. But how about yourself? Like, can you recognize things that maybe you want to improve on and some flaws that you think, oh, I could do that better, or I want to get better at this? Is that something you could do yourself?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Especially at this level, you got to be able to have self-coaching, so after every series on game day, we grab the iPads and we just watch ourselves because we know it's offensive coordinators in the press box, and they're going to see what we see, so they're going to try to attack our weaknesses. So, we can just point stuff out to our coaches, or we can just take mental notes for ourselves, and we can just work to improve that.
Well, Sauce, listen, really appreciate a couple of minutes for joining us on the show here. Congratulations on a fantastic rookie season. The best is yet to come as far as we're concerned with your career, but Happy New Year, and thanks for hopping on with us.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all. Thank you, Richie.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you coming on board.
Yes, sir.